Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my living room in Dusseldorf. Because as you might recognize, this is clearly not the house in Gdansk, Poland. So over the Christmas holidays, I drove back to Dusseldorf because obviously I'm going to celebrate with my parents. And my dad refused to set up a Christmas tree this year, so I was like, no props. I'm going to take care of this situation. So I'm decorating my apartment here. For Christmas, I have a couple of boxes in the basement. It's always a great excitement of taking them upstairs and just checking what I have. And I know what I have, but there's always those things where like, oh yes, and I had this and I had that, and so lovely. So it looks a little chaotic in my back, as you might recognize. There's even the tripod standing there. But this is because last night I just couldn't wait. I already bought the Christmas tree, set it up, and put the lights in already. And normally you can always recognize a Christmas tree that I decorate because I'm always kind of like afraid that there's not enough lights on the top. And then I really go bonkers on the top, and then there's almost like an ombre effect, and it kind of like goes less and less to the bottom of a tree. This is kind of like my signature. So you can, wherever you see a Christmas tree where you see this effect, chances are I decorated it, because this is always the same thing. And each year I remind myself, like, remember, you need to have enough lights also to go all the way down, and then it happens again. So it is what it is, but what I'm going to do now first is I want to walk you through all of the decoration that I have here, because it is a little different to what I did in Poland, Gdansk. Like in Poland, I really focus on like natural materials like these wooden pine cone things and mixing it with white. I have a lot of white here as well, but my inspiration for the Christmas tree here in Dusseldorf is, imagine Disney's Frozen, kind of like Elsa disintegrates over my Christmas tree and she just rains down in all sparkly fractals, basically. And this is exactly how this Christmas tree here is going to look like. It's going to be all glitz and glamour. Entire glittery heart is just like exploding all over that tree in a moment. So I'm going to show you what I have and all the beautiful things. I'm going to decorate with you. Today's a day where I'm going to watch Alone in New York. I hope this, is it the title? It's like the second movie from Home Alone. So yeah, this is like always my thing. I'm always watching it. I already watched it actually last night, parts of it, when I put the lights in. So I finish it off now. And this afternoon, my parents are going to come. So I'm also going to like make sure that the table, the dinner table, can you see it? No, you can't. Behind the tree. I'm going to show you everything anyway. So I'm also just going to set up the dinner table for looking nice for Christmas and everything. And then in the evening, I want to give you a tour on how everything looks and what I did. Because the nice thing about here in Dusseldorf is like we have this market square in the city center. And there are really great stands for buying cut flowers, and really beautiful cut flowers. And I love amaryllis. I really have this thing going on with amaryllis, and especially these white and greenish ones. And in Poland, it's impossible to get them. I think I've been to at least 10 different flower shops, and you can only buy the red ones. And the red ones, for me, they're nice, but it's not even like this really dark, rich red. They're kind of just like the red ones. They're nice, but it's like, it's just not really my cup of tea. It doesn't really fit my style, I think, like this. There are houses where I see them and I feel like, oh yeah, they're really good, but not here with me. But what I'm going to do now, flip the phone and just talk you through and show you a little bit of my decoration and the things that I have and that I will be decorating this tree with today. So here you go. This is what I have, and here you can tell how I store my Christmas decoration. I put them in moving boxes because I have, I think, 4 or 5 of these boxes down in the basement. All different kind of color schemes going on here. But this is a color scheme that I really want to focus on in today's project and for today's tree, basically. So I have all of these like glass ornaments here, like these here, and they will catch and reflect the light, really beautiful, which I really like. They kind of look like Frozen, and this is exactly what I meant like with like Disney's Frozen movie, basically. I've got these kind of icicle things going on here. They're also really elegant in the tree. And then I always like buy new things. Like for example, I bought these in Poland this year. So it's always a thing that I love to do, is like to buy something and then they come with a memory, because it just takes you back to that place actually. So for example, these parrots here, I bought these a couple years ago, I think honestly 10 years ago at least, in Bruges when I was an intern in Belgium. So I think I have 4 or 5 of them maybe, but really nice. And they just come with this really beautiful memory for me. And then things like this, for example, here, those are my favorite ones. And I had, I think, 3 of them. And when I still went to uni, so I think 15 years ago, I bought 3 of these. And back then, they were super expensive for me. And I remember really thinking like, oh, shall I buy them? Shall I not buy them? couple of years ago, the tree kind of like flipped over, unfortunately, and 3 of those got smashed, or 2 of them got smashed. And this is the last one that survived, so it's very precious for me, absolutely loving it. Really, all of these things where you're kind of mixing like with like transparent and kind of like white, a little glitter. Those are the things that I really enjoy on a Christmas tree. Also, stuff like this here, for example, I got as a gift a couple of years ago. So it's also really nice when you have these memories attached and you put it on your tree, super lovely. And then of course I also have like some of these like more contemporary things that are going on at the moment. So these kind of like symmetrical shapes, even though I think I bought this like 2 years ago already. Has a little bit of glitter on it, but I don't have too many of those. I wish I would have bought more of these a couple of years ago because I'm really loving them. These kind of like big pine cone shapes with the tips of glitter. So exciting, aren't they? Really love them. I only got 4 of them, unfortunately, but still, I'm really happy with what I got. So yeah, this is actually everything what I'm having. I have a little bit of silver that I might mix in as well because I don't have too much going on this year. I also bought these in Poland this year because I was like, oh, sparkle. Sparkly, glittery in white tones, perfect. But I just bought 1 carton because they only had 1 left, and I was like, mine, gonna take it. I would have bought 10 of them if they had, maybe not 10, but like at least 4. But yeah. Then what else do I have? I'm not gonna decorate with these, but I love them. They are so, so precious to me. So these are the ones that my parents actually decorated when I was a child. So this is the first Christmas tree that I remember as a child. We had a tiny Christmas tree back then, maybe like 50 centimeters in height, and only decorated with these here. So these small kind of like round ornaments, they're real glass. You can even tell with a little tip here at the base, so cute. Little golden stars and golden glittery dots, and then the bells, but they don't make a sound or anything, unfortunately. And then I remember my parents would put like real tiny apples, I think crab apples, on the tree as well, and some pine cones. Really nice, but I mean, it's so, I don't really have a lot of them. But I think one day I'm just going to amp up my game and mix it maybe with like some more of these like vintage white and gold, and do kind of like a little vintage tree where I go and incorporate that. Maybe make a garland with crabapple or something. In the past, I also always used to decorate with these tins of blush, but I don't think I'm going to do it this year, even though when I see them, I'm kind of like, oh, that is a nice one. It also has this kind of like frosty coating over it, really pretty. And then like these here with a little bit of sparkle on there. I really enjoy, oh, hold on, where is it? These here. So pretty. I actually use some of them and put them in a flower arrangement. I'm going to show you in a second. Absolutely beautiful. And this one here, again, I only have 1 of them, but I bought this also about, I would say, 12 years ago in London and Selfridges. So again, it's one of those things that comes with a really special memory because it just takes you back to these places, and this is why I always love to buy Christmas ornaments wherever I go on a holiday because there's always like this memory attached to it. So yeah, this is kind of like what I have going on, even though I'm not going to use the things that you see here. I'm only going to focus on all of those things that are here on the table. And if I don't have enough, I'm not going to put any of the blush things in there today. Then it is what it is. Then I might just go to some shops again, maybe tonight or tomorrow, and try and find some more white or crystal things. This is, I think, what I'm going to do. And then I just want to show you what I already started doing. So look, I found these absolute glorious amaryllis. It's a mix of like pinkish ones and then like some greenish white ones here. And I put some of those ornaments just in there. So they're just hanging in there. And isn't it looking cute? And then I still had from a couple of years ago, they were quite trendy, like I think, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago in Germany, these like tiny Christmas trees with a little bit of like artificial snow frosting on top of it, but from the distance, oh my god, I need to dust. Ooh, okay, I know what I'm going to do in a second, shame. But look, from a distance, I think this looks really cute already, kind of wintry, and then I just wrapped a light chain around the shelf as well. So this is kind of like what I started already with, but what I'm going to do now, here comes a bright window. Yeah, really going to focus on the Christmas tree here. In the back, you can also see, where's my finger now? There. I already put like some flowers here, and yeah, super cute. Oh, and there you get to see also like more memories. So my previous life, I would say, as a corporate fashion designer, I used to travel a lot to China. So those are two things actually that I bought in China, and I just love to put those things in my apartment because there's always a special memory attached to it. I see it every day and it always takes me back to these like really fun work trips that I had in China. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is put the phone on the tripod and then you see me decorate, and I can't wait for it. I'm so excited to decorate a second Christmas tree this year. So this is how everything is looking at night time, and I think it's really nice and cozy. Really happy with how the shelf looks like, the black shelf in front of the black wall with the lights around it, and these white pinkish amaryllis, they really pop in, they're really cute. And then some candles. I mean, candles always create this magical, really warm atmosphere. So I've got some more candles just going on over there, just on my couch table. I've got two couch tables actually. And then the Christmas tree. I'm so happy with how it looks. Really didn't put any of the blush pinks things inside, nothing silver. Really focused on all of these crystal ones and the white ones, everything like sparkly and glittery. I hope you get to see it on the video as well. I think you do. I can already tell on the screen. I especially love these here. I just bought them today in the morning, and I think I might amp up my game and buy like maybe 5 or 6 more of them because I really enjoy the look of them. They really look like frozen crystal fractals basically hanging in the Christmas tree. And even from the distance, I think they just really break the light in there very beautifully. Super happy with them. I already have my first Christmas gift down here. This is actually for me, so I'm really excited what's going to be inside of there. And if I just swing around quickly, there's just one thing I want to show you, because this is something kind of traditional German, something that my mum collects. And I have the smaller version. So these are all handmade in Eastern Germany. So they're like these little angel figures basically, and they all play different instruments. Normally they're standing and they're taller, but then a couple of years ago they came out with those that are in this tiny metal ring here, very delicate golden metal ring, and they're sitting and they're quite small. I think now in comparison with my hand you can tell, and I don't have big hands, so they are very, very delicate, but I really enjoy them a lot. Super pretty, got 4 of them, and yeah, I just love that they are handmade, so I could just like hang them in here and they're like floating really in amongst the arrangement. So beautiful. You guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed to hang out the afternoon with me and to decorate for Christmas again in a different apartment this time though. I love to decorate for Christmas. As you might have recognized, I can go completely bananas over it. I could do it day in, day out, 24/7, all year round, and I don't think I would ever get bored of it, just because of all the materials and all these different kind of ornaments and colors and what you can do, all these like magical images that you can create. And I'm really happy with how it's looking here. I mean, you get to see the apartment and how I live here basically. So the color palette is quite muted in a way. There's no like pop colors or anything. Everything is kind of like beige and white and off-white and hints of black here and there, and that is pretty much it. Like if I would take it through the entire apartment, one room kind of looks like the other pretty much in terms of color. So this is also why my Christmas tree is looking the way it does. I was really focusing on all of these like white and crystal tones, and I can tell you, especially in the afternoon hours, the apartment is really sun-filled here because this is south-facing. And when the sun came from the back of the tree and the crystal ornaments were reflecting the sun, that was just like a magical moment, so really happy about that. Then I really enjoyed my afternoon with my parents. My dad came with some really yummy, lovely cake. I'm a cake person, I love cake, I'd have it every single day. Some like chocolate and pralines and everything from my favorite bakery in Dusseldorf. So that was like a really nice quality time that I already spent with my parents, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve. So tomorrow they are gonna come, because the 24th of December, that is a big one, important day in Germany. In the evening they come at 6, so I'll prepare dinner, and then after dinner we exchange gifts. And yeah, so this is a little different to some of the other countries, especially to the United States or England. I know that it works different, but here the 24th, the evening, that is a one important big day. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna make it comfortable and I start packing all of my presents, because this is something that I haven't done yet. Everything still sits here, and what I do traditionally is I put everything in my back there, well, somewhere there, there, on the ground, and all of the materials, everything that I have, and then traditionally I always watch the Golden Girls when I'm packing. I can't wait for it already. I love to watch the Golden Girls. One of my favorite TV series, maybe because it is this momentum of Florida, because I spent a lot of time in Florida. My parents lived in Florida for many, many years, so I think this is why it always just takes me back there to a very happy place in life. On top of it, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but Alfie's full name is actually Alfie Rose Nyland. So for those of you who watch the Golden Girls, you might see the correlation of Rose Nyland and Alfie, like the hand, everything is kind of similar, and Alfie's also very cute and a little naive, I think. So not from St. Olaf though, but still. Yeah, this is just like a little side note. What I want to do is just like throw out a big, big thank you to all of you who subscribe to my channel, and especially to all of you who always have a wonderful comment for me. It makes me so happy to read them and to answer to them. Maybe here on YouTube or maybe on Instagram. A lot of you also decided to send me a DM on YouTube, on Instagram, and really love to read them. It makes me super happy. And I feel very encouraged to continue. And on top of it, going out on Instagram is one thing, because you take a photo and you write a nice text to it. Maybe you share a photo of yourself in the story. Some also share a little video of themselves or something, but in a way it feels different. Like going out on YouTube, I think, is a totally different story, because you do a proper long video of yourself, and you open not only your garden, I also open my house, which I liked. Because I think by opening the house to you, you also get to understand the entire aesthetics and where I come from, and maybe also why the garden looks the way it does a little bit better, because the garden always tells a story of the gardener, of the owner, I think, and this is so important. Because if you watch my previous videos, I always kind of refer to like memories when I garden, like certain plants that I use, the tulips, for example, they come with childhood memories, and this is so important for me to really do that. And also coming from a background of being a fashion designer, actually, I'm very intrigued by working with colors, working with textures and material, and this is all what a garden offers. But in a way, even maybe more intriguing than to what fashion does, because a garden gets better by time. And this is what stuns me and fascinates me. You know, you go out there, you sow something sometimes with the tiniest seed, and then a beautiful plant grows out of it, comes back even every single year when you grow a perennial. It gets better and more beautiful, more bountiful every single year. And that makes me so happy, and also sharing all of those moments with you, because I thought about it if I open up and share this with you, but I think it is important to do it also to maybe understand everything. So I personally took a year off from work. I will do a little bit of fashion freelancing now, but I'm not looking for a permanent job as a fashion designer anymore, because I really want to focus on the things that I'm doing here. I want to focus on the gardening. I want to focus on pottery. This is something, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you saw that already, and I think I'm going to do a video about what I do here as well. And the reason why I took a year off is because I had always really good experience in my job. Unfortunately, after 5 years of Amsterdam, where I had a genius job, great American company, loved to work with them in their Amsterdam headquarters, I made the probably, maybe not a big mistake, but I kind of made the decision of moving to southern Germany, and I had a really bad job experience there with, unfortunately, mobbing and people also talking behind my back. I overheard those things. They never, I think up until this day, they don't know that I actually heard it. And in that moment, I was just grumpy about it. But after I resigned, I was like, I'm not even bothered to stay here. There is a point when it hits you. It really hit me like a wall, and I wasn't see it coming. And I can just tell you from really personal experience, a garden has healing powers. This is also why I think this garden means so much to me, and it's such a personal space for me, because not only can I get creative in there and do what I want without anybody judging me, without anybody critiquing me, without anybody kind of just like throwing negativity at me, something that happens in fashion very likely. Everybody has an opinion, and this is something that in the garden just doesn't happen. It's a very happy place, and I think this is what each and every one of your gardens or even balcony should be like. It should be this space where you could just like free your mind, find your inner center again and your spirit again, and just do what makes you happy. I would really give you the one advice: don't listen to what anybody tells you. If somebody is like, oh, I don't like that, well, too bad for them. As long as your garden makes you happy, that is the most important thing in the world. And I think this is exactly what the magic healing power of nature and gardening is, that you do something, you grow something, you see how it grows, you feel accomplished with it, you can do whatever your creativity tells you to do. You can watch wildlife, you can, all those possibilities, you can build something. And I can just say, you know what, go out there, do what makes you happy, and I am gonna get out there next year together with you again, make what makes me happy. I want to share every single garden moment, project, whatever I do with you. If you ask for it or not, I'm still gonna share it with you, and I'm really happy to share it with you. We're heading into winter now, which means that January and February are a month where I can't do too much in the garden. I'm still gonna do those things that I can do, but there might be occasional other videos as well. I need to think about what I can share with you. I have a few things in my mind, but let's see. I just want to say thank you. That is the one thing I really want to say. Thank you so, so much, you guys. You really made me so happy with all the lovely comments, and I just hope that you have a jolly, merry, good Christmas time, however you say it properly. I hope you get to celebrate with whoever you want to celebrate, however you want to celebrate. If you're at home cozy like I do, or if you fly off to a tropical island and just celebrate Christmas on your own, which is also sometimes a great thing to do. I'd love to welcome you in one of my future videos again, maybe at my home or in my garden. Let's see what comes next. Up until then, have a wonderful Christmas time, you guys. Take care. Bye.